Have you ever considered how diverse human sexuality truly is? It's a broad spectrum, encompassing a myriad of orientations and preferences. Today, we delve into one such orientation that often gets overlooked: straight anal. Straight anal is a term used to describe individuals who, despite identifying as heterosexual, enjoy anal sex. This orientation emphasizes that sexual preferences and sexual orientation aren't always aligned in the way society generally expects them to be. The complexity of human sexuality is such that it cannot be boxed into rigid categories. The term straight anal is a prime example of this. It may seem contradictory at first glance. How can someone be straight yet prefer a sexual activity often associated with homosexuality? But it's essential to remember that sexual practices do not define one's sexual orientation. Straight anal is a term that primarily refers to heterosexual individuals, regardless of their gender, who enjoy partaking in anal sex. To clarify, a straight male in this context would be desiring to perform the act, not to receive. The key to understanding straight anal lies in recognizing that it's not about the gender of the partner, but about the act itself. The preference for anal sex does not dictate the gender to which one is attracted. It is simply a sexual preference, much like any. Unfortunately, societal norms and stereotypes often create confusion and stigma around orientations like straight anal. There's a common misconception that certain sexual practices are inherently linked to specific sexual orientations. This notion is not only incorrect but also harmful, as it leads to unnecessary judgment and discrimination. Voiceover. The portrayal of straight anal practitioners in media and public discourse is often skewed and harmful. Men are frequently depicted as abusive, uncaring, and sadistic, using the act as a form of humiliation. Women, on the other hand, are shown as complacent victims of abuse, or if they enjoy the act, as severely disturbed and immoral. This type of representation not only distorts the reality of many people's experiences, but also causes harm to young individuals who may be exploring this aspect of their sexuality. They're left without adequate legal and social protection, facing potential discrimination and stigmatization based on their sexual practices. Ironically, we find ourselves in an era where sensitivity towards all kinds of minorities and issues is at the forefront of societal consciousness. Yet the straight anal community continues to be misrepresented and misunderstood. It's time to challenge these harmful narratives and work towards a more understanding and respectful society. We must strive for media and public discourse that accurately reflects the diversity of human sexual practices, without resorting to harmful stereotypes or perpetuating discrimination. After all, every individual has the right to express their sexuality freely and without fear of judgment or discrimination. Our task is to ensure that this right is upheld and respected for all. Scene script, voiceover. Surveys repeatedly show that young boys, though they are completely straight, often feel they would rather enter a woman through her anus than her vagina. Similarly, young girls see anal as a natural, fun, innocent, and enjoyable form of birth control. Is this the natural human attitude until they're told to think otherwise? If so, by who? It's a vital question to ask, as it challenges the societal norms and stereotypes that have been instilled in us. Are these attitudes the result of societal programming, or are they an inherent part of human sexuality that is being suppressed due to societal expectations and judgments? As we explore this aspect, it's equally important to highlight the necessity of encouraging this act, not just between males, but as a normal and natural thing for a boy and girl to try. It's not about promoting one sexual practice over another, but rather about fostering an environment where people feel free to explore their sexuality without fear of judgment or ridicule. In a world where we are striving for acceptance and understanding, it's time to break the stigma and encourage open conversations about straight anal as a natural part of human sexuality. It's time to move away from harmful representations and towards a discourse that respects and celebrates the full spectrum of human sexuality. Let's create a world where everyone feels free to express their sexuality in a way that is true to them, without fear of judgment or discrimination. Voiceover, the position of straight anal in the public dialogue on sexuality is distinct and frequently misconstrued. Neither a conventional orientation like LGBTQ nor a fetish such as sadomasochism, straight anal occupies a unique place in human sexuality, often underrepresented or dismissed in discussions. The lack of understanding results in frequent misrepresentation or absence of discussion about straight anal, which is a form of sexual expression that many engage in and enjoy. In order to promote a more comprehensive discourse, we must underscore the significance of straight anal as distinct sexual identity. This isn't about categorizing, instead, it's about understanding and acknowledging the vast array of human sexual preferences, including straight anal. To promote a more positive perspective towards straight anal, it's crucial to involve both authorities and the general public in the conversation. Encouraging open-mindedness and understanding creates acceptance, leading to a more comprehensive societal view. The conversation needs to move forward. Straight anal should be perceived as a part of the sexual spectrum of human experiences and preferences rather than an exception. By fostering discussions that validate straight anal as a distinct sexual identity, we can cultivate an accepting and understanding society. This dialogue isn't just about straight anal, it's about the broader concept sexual expression. It's about everyone's right to express in a way that feels honest and natural to them. We must strive to build a society that acknowledges and respects all forms of sexual expression.